Hello everybody. Today we'll learn about air compressor. Basically, we'll be studying more in detail about reciprocating compressor. This is part of engineering thermodynamics 5th unit where the subject code is 18AE42. So an air compressor takes in atmospheric air, compresses it and delivers the high pressure air to a storage vessel from which it may be conveyed by the pipeline to wherever the supply of compressed air is required. Since the process of compressing the gas requires the work should be done upon it, it will be clear that a compressor must be driven by some form of prime mover. So here the prime here used is a motor. So compressors are similar to fans and blowers but differs in terms of pressure ratio. Fan is also said to have a pressure ratio up to 1.1 and blowers have pressure ratio of 1.1 to 4 while compressors have a pressure ratio of more than 4. Now coming to types of compressor. So compressor are of two types, positive displacement and dynamic compressor. A positive displacement compressor is the system which compresses the air by displacement of mechanical linkages reducing the volume. Dynamic compressor. It's a rotary continuous flow machine in which the rapidly rotating element accelerates the air as it passes through the element, converting the velocity head into pressure, partially in the rotating element and partially in stationary diffuser or blades. So classification of compressors are based on this aspect, based on principle of operation. As I had told you, positive displacement compressor and non-positive displacement compressor. In that we have a reciprocating type, then a rotary type. I'll just show you a picture of it. This is a reciprocating type compressor. You just can see the piston moving up and down, and this is the suction stroke where air enters and then it delivers to the outlet port. Then we have a vane compressor where you can see the working here. The image or the picture of video shows how exactly a vane compressor functions. This is how exactly a screw type compressor functions, which is part of a positive displacement compressor. These are all dynamic compressor. We just can see here how exactly a dynamic compressor functions, which is a centrifugal compressor. The air enters here and we have a fan type. You can see here blades which are radial in nature or axial in nature, and then it gets compressed and then the compressed air moves to the outlet part here. We have one more which is axial compressor. You can see here basically these compressors are used in jet engines where you will study more about it in gas turbines, the subject. So this is the axial flow compressor. This is the compressor part, this is the combustion engine, this is the turbine, and then you have the exit of some of the exhaust gas moving out. So this is how basically your axial flow compressor functions. Then we have based on the number of stages, we have compressors are classified as single stage compressor, then a two-stage compressor, then three-stage compressor, and a multi-stage compressor. And based on capacity of compressor, we have a low capacity compressor, medium capacity compressor, and high capacity compressor. Now based on high pressure developed, we have low pressure compressor, a medium pressure, high pressure compressor, and super high pressure compressor, basically about 10 bar. Now we'll concentrate more on basically the reciprocating compressor, which is the necessity here. So what is a reciprocating compressor? Just can see here. This is the piston and cylinder arrangement, and this is the inlet valve, inlet port, and air enters when the when the piston moves from TDC to BDC, where we have inward stroke, where the suction pressure is less than atmospheric. Because of suction pressure, the valve gets open, because all these valves are spring loaded, and because of the suction pressure, the valve gets open and air enters here. The air enters here, you just can see here. And then we have the piston moving back to the TDC from BDC. So this is outward stroke, and because this piston rotates because of the prime motor being fixed to the shaft of the piston, and it compresses the air, and once it compresses and moves to TDC, because of the pressure, high pressure which is developed, the spring opens up and delivers the pressure air, high pressure air to the storage level, where this is delivered to the pipeline where its applications are required. So this is how exactly the working principle of a reciprocating compressor. Now we'll study in detail about single stage compressor without clearance. This is basically a theoretical study, because no compressor will be having without clearance. Clearance is a must, because we need to store the compressed air. So this is basically for theoretical study. So compressor without clearance is what we'll study right now. Now this is the PV diagram, you can just see. So 4-1 is the section stroke. You are compressing the air. This is first part is isothermal compression. This is once again a theoretical one. The second part is polytropic, which is a practical one, and the third curve we just can see 1-2 dash, 2 double dash is adiabatic. 1-2 dash is isothermal. 1-2 is polytropic, which is practically right, and 1-2 double dash is adiabatic process. And this is the TS diagram of this single stage compressor without clearance. You can see here 1, 2. The pressure is P1 and P2. P1 is atmospheric pressure and P2 is delivery pressure. And this is how basically our single stage compressor functions. Now what is process 4-1? 4-1 is basically volume of air V1 aspirated into the compressor at pressure P1 and temperature T1. Process 1-2 is air compressed according to the law PV2 of N is equal to constant, which is a polytropic process from pressure P1 to P2. Volume decreases from V1 to V2 and temperature increases from T1 to T2. Process 2-3 is compressed air of volume V2 and pressure P2 with temperature T2 delivered from the compressor. Now we'll do the duration for work done. So when we say work done, you need to take the PV diagram. So PV diagram here is this. Work done is area 4, 1, 2, 3. So area 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So work done is area under 2, 3. You can just see here, area under 2, 3 is this. Area under 2, area under 2, 3 is 2 to 3. Area under this PV diagram minus of 1, 4. 1, 4. This needs to be deducted, because what area we need to take is 4, 1, 2, 3. So area under 2, 3 is the whole area this much. This much. You can see here. 1, 2, 3. And area under 4, 1 is this needs to be deducted. It's not not the area which is required, and then plus area 1 2, that is the polytropic process curve. So when I say that, just see here how exactly the equation looks like. Area under 2 3 is P2 V2 because pressure is P2, volume is V2, plus area under 1 2, which is a polytropic process, P2 V2 minus P1 V1 by n minus 1, minus of area under 4 1, which is below the area of the hatched lines, or I can say the PV diagram where the work is done, minus P1 V1. So if we arrange this will be P2 V2 minus P1 V1 plus this will be, that is P2 V2 minus P1 V1 plus P2 V2 minus P1 V1 by n minus 1. This can be rearranged as 1 plus 1 by n minus 1, you can say, and P2 V2 minus P1 V1, or n by n minus 1 P2 V2 minus P1 V1. But we know here this can be rearranged as n by n minus 1 P1 V1 P2 V2 by P1 V1 minus of 1. Now, but we know P2 V2 by P1 V1 can be rewritten as V2 by V1 can be rewritten as P1 by P2 to the power of 1 by n. Why? P1 V1 to the power of n is equal to P2 V2 to the power of n. So V2 by V1 is P1 by P2 1 to the power of n. So that's what I have substituted here. V2 by V1 is substituted by P1 by P2 to the power of 1 by n. So we want it to be in terms of P2 on the top and P1 here. So it will be rearranged. Other things remains the same, whereas this is P1 P2 by to the power of 1 by n will be P2 by P1 minus 1 to the power of n. So this in turn can be rewritten as P2 P1 by 1 minus 1 by n of minus 1. So because this will be and it will be 1 minus 1 by n. Or in turn it can be written as n minus 1 by n. So this is the final equation which we are looking out for work done for a single stage air compressor without clearance, that is n by n minus 1 P1 V1 by into P2 by P1 n minus 1 by n minus of 1, or P1 V1 can be replaced by MR T1 and the other things remains the same. So this is the derivation basically for your air compressor, that is single stage air compressor without clearance. Now we'll study about with clearance, how exactly a single stage air compressor with clearance look like. Now this is the PV diagram you just can see here, because clearance is clearance volume. Here you can see here this clearance volume 6.3, the space between 6.3 is the clearance volume, which is the VC part. VC is clearance volume, swept volume is VS, swept volume you can see here 2 and from 1 and this 3 is swept volume. Effective swept volume is the actual swept volume, that is what we call it as effective swept volume. Why there is reduction in swept volume and effective swept volume is basically there is air entry is distracted because of the valves and the springs, and because of this the restrictions, the air entry inside the cylinder will be less than the actual swept volume, the theoretical swept volume. So this is basically the actual swept volume, which is effective swept volume. Total volume is Vs plus Vc, which we all know, clearance volume plus total volume. Now we'll derive an expression for this. We know how exactly work done is. Work done for a single stage compressor is n by n minus 1 P1 V1 P2 by P1 n minus 1 by n minus 1 minus of this part, you can see here, minus of this area which we need to deduct. So this part you can see here, this needs to be deducted. So that's what is been shown done here. You can see here n by n minus 1 P1 V1 P2 by P1 n minus 1 by n minus of 1 minus of n by n minus 1 P4 V4 and P3 by P4 n minus 1 by n minus of 1. But we know P4 is P1 and P3 is P2 because there are two pressure initial or the inlet pressure and the delivery pressure. So P1, P3, P4 is equal to P1 and P3 is equal to P2. So work done is n by n minus 1 P1 V1 P2 by P1 n minus 1 by n minus 1, and this P3 by P4 is replaced by P2 by P1 because P3 is equal to P2 and P4 is equal to P1. So this in turn can be written as P1, this P1 and this P1 will be same, V1 minus V4, and this is a common factor, P2 by P1 n minus 1 by n. So this is the derivation basically for your with single stage air compressor with clearance. Now we'll learn about volumetric efficiency. What is volumetric efficiency? The volumetric efficiency of a compressor is the ratio of free air delivered to the displacement of the compressor. It is also the ratio of effective swept volume to the swept volume. So the efficiency of a compressor, the volumetric efficiency of a compressor is nothing but effective swept volume by swept volume. So what is effective swept volume? If we see the PV diagram earlier, we can say what is swept volume. Swept volume is V1 minus V3. V1 is the total one, that is total volume, minus of V3 will give you the swept volume. Whereas the effective volume is V1 total up to here minus of this will be V4. So you can see here the swept volume is V1, the total one. V1 is total volume minus of this volume, which is basically the clearance volume. So total volume minus clearance volume will give swept volume. Now effective swept volume is up to V4, V1 minus of V4, and that's what has been shown here. You can see here. So volumetric efficiency is V1 minus V4 divided by swept volume is V1 minus V3. Usually the volumetric efficiency of any compressor will be between 60 to 85%. What is clearance ratio? Because this is also required for this derivation. So clearance volume is clearance ratio is clearance volume by swept volume. What is clearance volume? V3 according to PV diagram, and swept volume is V1 minus V3. So that is nothing but Vc by Vs, which is, we'll assume it as K, a constant. Now coming back to volumetric efficiency, what is volumetric efficiency? Effective volume swept volume by swept volume, that is V1 minus V4 by V1 minus V3. Now what is V1 minus V4? We just can rewrite as V1 minus V3 plus V3 minus V4. So I have subtracted and added V3 here and V1 minus V3. So this in turn can be written as V1 minus V3 is at 1, and then V3 here I have split this. So V3 by V1 minus V3 minus of V4 by V1 minus V3. So this in turn can be written as 1 plus V3, V1 minus V3 minus V4 by V1 minus V3. What I have done here is have multiplied and divided by V3 here. So V3 divided by V3. So in turn I just can write it as 1 plus V3 by V1 minus V3 minus this V3 is brought here. So V3 by V1 minus V3 and into V4 by V3. So just can see here what is V3 by V1 minus V3 is K. So that's what I substitute. So 1 plus this is K minus of K and V4 by V3. What is V4 by V3? We know that P3 V3 to the power of n is equal to P4 V4 to the power of n, because it's a polytropic process. So V4 by V3 is P3 by P4 to the power of 1 by n. But P3 is equal to P2 and P4 is equal to P1. So that's what I'll substitute here. So P3 and P4 are substituted by P2 and P1 respectively. So volumetric efficiency is 1 plus K minus K of P2 by P1 to the power of 1 by n. In terms of volume, we can write this as V1 by V2. So this is the derivation for your volumetric efficiency. Now we'll study about two-stage compressor with perfect intercooling. What is perfect intercooling? You just might ask. So perfect intercooling is basically between two compressors or two stages. This is a two-stage compressor. Okay. So when we talk about two-stage compressor, basically two cylinders and two pistons will be there. In between, an intercooler is provided. Why intercooler is provided? To increase the volumetric efficiency, the compressed air from single cylinder, the first cylinder, is cooled and then sent to the second inlet cylinder, so that it improves the volumetric efficiency. So for that reason, we use intercooling. Then you might ask me, what is perfect intercooling? So perfect intercooling is basically, you can see here, perfect intercooling means that after the initial compression in the LP cylinder with its consequent temperature rise, the air is cooled in an intercooler back to its original temperature. What do you mean by that? So the inlet temperature for first cylinder is T1, let's assume, and the outlet temperature of the first cylinder is T2. When it passes through intercooler, the inlet to the second cylinder is through the intercooler, the outlet of the intercooler. So we need to cool the air back to T1. So the inlet air temperature for second cylinder is basically at T1 itself. So that, if it happens, is what we call it as perfect intercooling. So we'll analyze basically this the equation. We'll derive an equation for work done for a two-stage compressor with perfect intercooling now. So this is 1. So 1, 2 is first stage compression. 1, 2, 7, 8 is first stage compressor, or you can say compression. Then high speed, that is high pressure compression. There are two. Let's assume that there are two cylinders, low pressure compressor in the first cylinder and high pressure cylinder, which is basically the second stage part. The second stage happens between 2, 3, then 6, 7. So this is the second stage. If there is no perfect intercooling, then it will be 4, 5, 6, 7. If it is a perfect intercooling, 2, 3, 6, 7. So case 1, first we'll study about case 1, work done in a compressor in a single cell. Let's assume that all these are a single stage compressor. Then for single stage, n by n minus 1 P1 V1 and P5 by P1 n minus 1 by n minus of 1. So why P5? The delivery pressure is basically P5 here. You can see here that delivery pressure is P5. So air is compressed to P5, and so it is P5 by P1. P5 by P1. You can say P5 by P1. So this is basically your single stage compressor neglecting clearance. So n by n minus 1 P1 V1 P5 by P1 n minus 1 by n minus 1. Delivery temperature T5 is equal to T1 by P5 by P1 n minus 1 by n. Now stage 2, that is case 2, two-stage compression without intercooling, that is area 8147 low pressure cycle and area 7456. So work done is n by n minus 1 P1 V1 P4 by P1, because the delivery pressure for the first cylinder is P4 by P1, so n minus 1 by n minus of 1 plus n by n minus 1 P4 V4 and P5 by P4 n minus 1 by n minus of 1. Basically we are doing it for perfect intercooling. So what is the work done for perfect intercooling is what we'll learn. So work done for perfect intercooling is area 8147 low pressure cycle and with perfect intercooling, area 8147 low pressure cycle and area 7236. So just can see the PV diagram here. Area 8147 is low pressure cylinder, and then high pressure cylinder is 7236. 4, 7. So that's what I written here. You can see here 7, 2, 3, 6. 7, 2, 3, 6. Now work done is P1 V1 by P4 by P1 n minus 1 by n minus 1 plus n by n minus 1 of P2 V2 P3 by P2, because P3 is the delivery pressure for the second cylinder, P2 is intermediate pressure, n minus 1 by n minus of 1. Now work done basically is W is n minus 1 by n P1 V1 by P2 by P1 n minus 1 by n plus P3 by P2 n minus 1 by n minus of 2. P2 V2 is equal to P1 V1 there, and P4 is equal to P3. So that's what has been substituted here, because that's what P4 is P3. Okay. Now delivery pressure temperature is given by T3 is equal to T2 into P3 by P2 n minus 1 by n, but T2 is equal to T1 because of perfect intercooling. Therefore T3 is equal to T1 into P3 by P2 n minus 1 by n. Now condition for minimum work, you can see here condition for minimum work. What is it? Is observed from the above PV diagram that as intermediate pressure P2 tends to P1, then the area 2475. What is 2453? Sorry, 2453 in the PV diagram. That is 2453 is the saving if you have intercooling. So that tends to 0. So that's what has been said here. So it tends to 0. Also P2 tends to P3, then area 2453 tends to 0. This means therefore an intermediate pressure P2 exists, which makes area 2453 M maximum. This is the condition where W is minimum. If W should be minimum, then P2 by P1 n minus n by n plus P3 by P2 n minus n by n must be minimum, and P2 as is a variable. So if you consider this, then you can see if you differentiate this equation, so W of P2 differentiation with respect to work done with respect to P2 is P2 by P1 n minus 1 by n plus P3 by P2 n minus 1 by n by with respect to P2 is tends to 0. So if you do partial differentiation, 1 by P1 n minus 1 by n into P2 n by n minus 1, sorry, n minus 1 by n P2 into to the power of n minus 1 by n minus of 1 plus this part P3 into to the power of n minus 1 by n into this P2 part minus of n minus 1 by n P2 of minus to the power of minus n minus 1 by n minus of 1, which tends to 0. So this I have rearranged, you can see here precisely, so that we require this in terms of P2 here, and P3 will be out. So P3 into P2 this way. So just rearranging it, so you can see this P2 which is there, P2 by P2, and P1 is brought to the right hand side. So P1 P3 n minus 1 by n. So P2 is here is minus 1 by n, and this is minus of minus if you bring it to the top. So minus 2n plus 1 by n. This is P1 P3 n minus 1 by n. So P2 1 minus n plus P2 of 2n minus 1 is equal to P1 P3 n minus 1. So if you rearrange this once again precisely, you can see P2 is 2n minus 1 by n and is equal to P1 P3 n minus 1 by n. So this can take a 2 as a common factor, so 2 of n minus 1 by n P1 P3 n minus 1 by n. So n minus 1 by n and n minus 1 and can be cancelled, the power part. So P2 square is equal to P1 P3, or P2 is equal to square root of P1 P3, and if you take it, this will be P2 by P1 is equal to P3 by P2. Therefore pressure ratio per stage is equal. So considering this, once again we'll substitute this equation in the work done. So Work done for a two-stage compression is 2n by n minus 1 P1 V1 P2 by P1 n minus 1 by n minus of 1. But we know P2 by P1 is what? P2 is what? It is P1 P3 to power of 1 by 2. So in turn, I have made it like this: P3 by P1 half of n minus 1 by n. So now we just can see work done is equal to 2n by P1 V1 P3. This half is put here n minus 1 by 2n to the power of n minus 1 by 2n minus of 1. Same way for 3-stage and 4-stage compression. For 3-stage, work done is 3n by n minus 1 P1 V1. So 3 means the value delivery pressure should be P4. If it is single stage, P2, 2-stage P3, and 3-stage P4 by P1 n minus 1 by 3n minus 1. Similarly for X stage, this will be x to the power of x into n by n minus 1 P1 V1, and here x plus 1, delivery pressure is x plus 1, that is P of x plus 1 by P1 to the power of n minus 1 by xn minus 1. So this is the duration for your two-stage air compression or multi-stage air compression with perfect intercooling. So this is the duration part which I complete. In the next class, we'll learn about the problems on reciprocating compressor. Thank you.